You'd better let your housekeeper speak to the girl properly in private. We don't know that you can take charge of her or consent to the arrangement at all.
Of course we know you don't mean her any harm, but when you get what you call interested in people's accents, you never think or care what may happen to them or you.
Go with Mrs. Pierce, Eliza.
That's all right. Thank you, Mrs. Pierce. Bundle her off to the bathroom.
You're a great bully, you are. I won't stay here if I don't like. I won't let nobody waltz me. I never asked to go to Buckingham Palace. I didn't. I was never in trouble with the police. Not me. I'm a good girl.
Don't answer that, girl. You don't understand the gentleman. Go with the housekeeper.
Well, what I say is right. I won't go near the king, not if I'm going to have my head cut off. If I'd known what I was letting myself in for, I wouldn't have come here. I've always been a good girl, and I never offered to say a word to him, and I don't owe him nothing, and I don't care, and I won't be put upon, and I have my feelings the same as anyone else.
Excuse the straight question, Higgins. Are you a man of good character where women are concerned?
Have you ever met a man of good character where women are concerned?
Yes, very frequently.
Well, I haven't. I find the moment I let a woman make friends with me, she becomes jealous, exacting, suspicious, and a damned nuisance. I find the moment I let myself make friends with a woman, I become selfish and tyrannical. Women upset everything. When you let them into your life, you find the woman is driving at one thing and you're driving at another.
At what, for example?
Oh, Lord knows. I suppose the woman wants to live her own life, the man wants to live his, and each tries to drag the other in the wrong track. One wants to go north and the other south. And the result is that both have to go east, though they both hate the east wind. So here I am, a confirmed old bachelor and likely to remain so.
Come, Higgins. You know what I mean. If I'm to be this business, I shall feel responsible for that girl. I hope it's understood that no advantage is to be taken on her position.
What? That thing? Scared? I assure you. You see, she shall be a pupil, and teaching would be impossible unless pupils were scared. I taught scores of American millionairesses how to speak English, the best-looking women in the world. I'm seasoned. They might as well be blocks of wood. I might as well be a block of wood. It's...
The housekeeper is coming towards the door. She has Eliza's hat in her hand.
Well, Mrs. Pierce, is it all right?
Professor, your housekeeper wishes to trouble you with a word.
Yes, certainly. Come in. Don't burn that hat of Eliza's, Mrs. Pierce. We'll keep it as a curiosity.
Handle it carefully, sir, please. Mrs. Pierce had to promise Eliza she would not burn it, but she had better put it in the oven for a while to kill the lice.
Oh, thank you. Well, what have you to say to me?
Am I in the way?
Not at
all, Colonel.
Mr. Higgins, you must please be very particular what you say before the girl.
Of course. I'm always particular about what I say. Why do you say this to me?
No, sir. Professor Higgins is not at all particular in his speech. He is wrong.
When he has mislaid anything, or when he gets a little impatient, he swears.
Do not swear in front of Miss Doolittle.
I swear? I never swear. I detest the habit. What the devil do you mean?
That's what we mean. You swear a great deal too much. We don't mind your damning and blasting and what the devil and where the devil and who the devil.
Really, this language from your lips, I never.
You must not use the B words. The girl has just used it herself because the bath is too hot. She knows no better. She learned it at her mother's knee. So she must not hear it from your lips.
You are to be a moral example to her, Professor.
I cannot charge myself with having ever uttered it, except perhaps in a moment of extreme and justifiable excitement.
Only this morning, sir, you applied it to your boots, to the butter, and to the brown bread.
Oh, that! A mere alliteration natural to a poet.
Well, sir, whatever you choose to call it, we beg you not to let the girl hear you repeat it.
Oh, very well, very well. Is that all?
No, sir. We shall have to be more particular with the girl as to personal cleanliness.
Certainly, quite right. Most important.
We don't think you understand. We mean you must not be slovenly about your dress, or untidy and leaving things about.
Just so. I intended to call your attention to that. It is these little things that matter, Pickering. Take care of the pence, and the pounds will take care of themselves. Is as true of personal habits as of money.
Yes, then you must not come down to breakfast in your dressing gown, or at any rate not to use it as a napkin, to the extent you do, sir. And if you would be so good as not to eat everything off the same plate, and to remember not to put the porridge saucepan out of your hand on the clean tablecloth,
it would be a better example to the girl. You know you nearly choked yourself with a fish bone in the jam only last week.
I may do these things sometimes in the absence of mind, but surely I don't do them habitually. By the way, my dressing gown smells most damnably of benzene.
We don't mean to offend you, Mr. Higgins, just to remind you of your moral duty.
Not at all, not at all. The course is quite right. I shall be particularly careful before the girl. Is that all? You know, Pickering, these people have the most extraordinary ideas about me. Here I am, a shy, diffident sort of man. I've never been able to feel really grown up and tremendous, like other chaps. And yet she's firmly persuaded that I'm an arbitrary, overbearing, bossing kind of person. I can't account for it.
We hear the doorbell ringing.
If you please, sir, the trouble's beginning already. There's a dustman downstairs. Alfred Doolittle wants to see you. He says you have his daughter here.
Phew, I say.
Send the blackguard up.
Oh, very well, sir.
He may not be a blackguard, Higgins.
Nonsense, of course he's a blackguard.
Whether he is or not, I'm afraid we shall have some trouble with him.
Oh no, I think not. If there's any trouble with him, he shall have it with me, not I with him. And we are sure to get something interesting out of him.
About the girl?
No, I mean his dialect.
Oh.
Mr. Doolittle, gentlemen, he is free from fear and conscience.
He seems to have wounded honor and stern resolution.
Professor Higgins.
Here, good morning, sit down.
Good morning, Governor. I come about a very serious matter, Governor.
Brought up in Hounslow, mother Welsh, I should think. What do you want, Doolittle?
I want my daughter. That's what I want, see?
Of course you do. You're her father, aren't you? You don't suppose anyone else wants her, do you? I'm glad you have some spark of family feeling left. She's upstairs. Take her away at once.
What?
Take her away. Do you suppose I'm going to keep your daughter for you?
Now, look here, Governor. Is this reasonable? Is it fair to take advantage of a man like this? The girl belongs to me. You got her. Where do I come in?
Your daughter had the audacity to come to my house and ask me to teach her how to speak properly, so that she could get a place in a flower shop. This gentleman and my housekeeper have been here all the time. How dare you come here and attempt to blackmail me? You sent her here on purpose.
No, Governor.
You must have. How else could you possibly know that she is here?
Don't take a man up like that, Governor.
The police shall take you up. This is a plan. A plot to extort money by threats. I shall telephone for the police.
Have I asked you for a brass farthing? I leave it to the gentleman here. Have I said a word about money?
What else did you come for?
Well, what would a man come for? Be human, Governor.
Alfred, did you put her up to it?
So help me, Governor. I never did. I take my Bible oath, I ain't seen the girl these 2 months past.
Then how did you know she was here?
I'll tell you, Governor, if you'll only let me get a warning. I'm willing to tell you. I wanted to tell you. I'm waiting to tell you.
Pickering, this chap has a certain natural gift of rhetoric. Observe the rhyme of his native woodland wood notes wild. I'm willing to tell you. I'm wanting to tell you. I'm waiting to tell you. Sentimental rhetoric. That's the Welsh strain in him. It also accounts for his mendacity and dishonesty.
Oh, please, Higgins. I'm West Contrary myself. How did you know the girl was here if you didn't send for her? It was like this, Governor. The girl took a boy in a taxi to be a jaunt. Son of her landlady, he is. He hung about on the chance of her giving him another ride home. Well, she sent him back for her luggage when she heard you was willing for her to stop here. I met the boy at the corner of the Long Acre and Endell Street.
Public house? Yes.
The poor man's club, Governor. Why shouldn't I? Don't let him tell this story, Higgins. He told me what was up, and I ask you, what was my feeling and my duty as a father? I says to the boy, you bring me the luggage, I says. Why didn't you go for itself? Landlady wouldn't have trusted me with it, Governor. She thinks the kind of woman, you know. I have to give the boy a penny afore he trusted me with it. The little swine, I brought it to her just to oblige you like, and make myself agreeable, that's all.
How much luggage?
Musical instrument, Governor, a few pictures, a trifle of jewelry, and a birdcage. She said she didn't want no clothes. What was I to think from that, Governor? I asked you as a parent, and what was I to think?
So you came here to rescue her from her fate worse than death, eh?
Just so, Governor, that's right. But what about bring her luggage if you intend to take her away? I have said a word about taking her away, have I now?
You're going to take her away, double quick.
No, Governor, don't say that. I'm not the man to stand in my girl's light. Here's a career opening for her, as you might say, and...
This is Eliza's father. He has come to take her away. Give her to him.
No, this is a misunderstanding. Listen here.
He can't take her away, Mr. Higgins. How can he? You had her clothes burned.
That's right. I can't carry the girl through the streets with the blooming monkey, can I? I put it to you.
You have put it to me that you want your daughter. Take your daughter. If she has no clothes, go out and buy her some.
Where's the clothes she came in? Did I burn them, or did your missus here?
The
Housekeeper has sent for some clothes for your girl, Mr. Doolittle. When they come in, you can't take her away.
Listen here, Governor. You and me is the men of this world, ain't we?
Oh, men of the world, are we?
The floor is yours, Mr. Doolittle. I thank you, Governor. Well, the truth is, I've taken a fancy to you, Governor. And if you want to go, I'm not so set on having her back home again. But what I might be open to an arrangement. Regarding in the light of a young woman. She's a fine, handsome girl. As a daughter, she's not worth her keep. And so I tell you straight. All I ask is my rights as a father. And you're the last man alive to expect me to let her go for nothing. For I can see you're one of the straight short, Governor. Well, what's the £5 note to you? And what's Eliza to me? I think you ought to know, Doolittle, that, Mr. Higgins' intentions are entirely honorable. Of course they are, Governor. If I thought they wasn't, I'd ask 50.
Do you mean to say, you callous rascal, that you'd sell your daughter for £50?
Not in a general way, I wouldn't. But to oblige a gentleman like you, I'd do a good deal. I do assure you. Have no moles, ma'am? I can't afford them, Governor. Neither could you if you was as poor as me. Not that I mean any harm, you know. But if Liza is going to have a bit out of this, why not to me?
I don't know what to do, Pickering. There can be no question that as a matter of morals, it's a positive crime to give this chap a farthing. And yet I feel sort of rough justice in his claim.
That's it, Governor. That's all I say. A father's heart, as it were. Well, I know the feeling, but really, it seems hardly right. Don't say that, Governor. Don't look it that way. What I am, governors both, I ask you, what am I? Am I one of the undeserving poor? That's what I am. Think of what that means to a man. It means that he's of age and middle class morality all the time. If there's anything going on, and I put it for a bit of it, it's always the same story. You're undeserving, so you can't have it. But my needs is as great as the most deserving widow that ever got money out of the 6 different charities in 1 week for the death of the same husband. I don't need less than a deserving man. I need more. I don't eat less than a hearty than him, and I drink a lot more. I want a bit of amusement, 'cause I'm a thinking man. I want cheerfulness and a song and a band when I feel low. Well, they charge me just the same for everything as they charge the deserving. What is the middle class morality? Just an excuse for never giving me anything? Therefore, I ask you, as 2 gentlemen, not to play that game on me. I'm playing straight with you. I ain't pretending to be deserving. I'm undeserving, and I mean to go on being undeserving. I like it, and that's the truth. Will you take advantage of a man's nature to do him out of the price of his own daughter, what he's brought up and fed and clothed by sweat of his brow, until she's grown big enough to be interesting to you 2 gentlemen? Is it 5 pounds unreasonable? I put it to you, and I leave it to you.
Pickering, if we were to take this man in hand for 3 months, he could choose between a seat in the cabinet and a popular pulpit in Wales.
What do you say to that, Doolittle? Not me, Governor. Thank you kindly. I've heard all the preachers and all the prime ministers. For I'm thinking man, and a game of politics, or religion, or social reform as all the other amusements. And I tell you, it's a dog's life anyway. You look at it. Undeserving poverty is my line. Take you one station in society with another. It's well. It's the only one that has any ginger in it, to my taste.
I suppose we must give him a fiver.
He'll make a bad use of it, I'm afraid. Not me, Governor. So help me, I won't. Don't you be afraid that I'll save it and spare it and have idle on it. There won't be a penny of it left by Monday, and I'll have to go to work same as if I never had it. I won't popularize me. You bet. Just one good spree for myself and the misuse, giving pleasure to ourselves and employment to others, and satisfaction to you to think that it's not been thrown away. You couldn't spend it better.
This is irresistible. Let's give him a 10.
No, Governor, she wouldn't have the heart to spend 10, and perhaps I shouldn't either. 10 pounds is a lot of money. It makes a man feel prudent like, and then goodbye to happiness. You give me what I ask, Governor. Not a penny more, not a penny less. Why don't you marry that misuse of yours? I'd rather draw the line at encouraging that sort of immorality. Tell her so, Governor. Tell her so. I'm willing. It's me that suffers by it. I've no hold of her. I got to be agreeable to her. I got to give her presents. I got to buy her clothes, something sinful. I'm a slave to that woman, Governor, just because I'm not her lawful husband. And she knows it. Catch her marrying me. Take my advice, Governor. Marry Eliza while she's young and don't know no better. If you don't, you'll be sorry for it after. If you do, she'll be sorry for it after. But better you than her, because you're a man and she's a woman, and don't know how to be happy anyhow.
Pickering, if we listen to this man another minute, we shall have no convictions left. 5 pounds, I think you said?
Thank you kindly, Governor.
You sure you won't take 10, then?
Not now. Another time, Governor.
Here you are.
Thank you, Governor. Good morning.
In his hurry to leave, he doesn't recognize the daughter he just sold for £5.
Beg pardon, miss.
Garn, don't you know your own daughter?
Blimey, it's Eliza.
What's that, this?
By Jove.
Don't I look silly?
Silly?
Mr. Higgins, please don't say anything to make the girl conceited about herself.
Oh, quite right. Yes, damned silly.
Please, sir, you are swearing in front of the girl.
I mean extremely silly.
I should look all right with my hat on.
A new fashion, by George, and it ought to look horrible.
Well, I never thought she'd clean up as good looking as that, Governor. She's a credit to me, ain't she?
I tell you, it's easy to clean up here. Hot and cold water on tap, just as much as you like there is. Woolly towels, there is, and a towel horse so hot, it burns your fingers. Soft brushes to scrub yourself, and a wooden bowl of soap smelling like primrose. Now I know why ladies is so clean. Washing's a treat for them. Wish they saw what it was so like of me.
I'm glad the bathroom met with your approval.
It didn't, not all of it. I don't care who hears me say it. I have a good mint to break it. I didn't know which way to look, but I hung a towel over it, I did.
Over what?
Over the looking glass, sir.
Doolittle, you have brought your daughter up too strictly.
Me? I never brought her up at all, except to give her a lick of a strap now and then. Don't put it on me, Governor. She ain't accustomed to it. You see, that's all. But she'll soon pick up free and easy ways.
I'm a good girl, I am, and I won't pick up no free and easy ways.
Eliza, if you say that again, that you're a good girl, your father shall take you home.
Not him. You don't know my father. All he come here is to touch you for some money to get drunk on.
Well, what else would I want for money for? To put into the play in church, I suppose. Don't you give me none of your lip, and don't let me hear you giving this gentleman of it either. Or you'll hear me from about it, see?
Have you any further advice to give to her before you go, Doolittle? Your blessing, for instance?
No, Governor, I ain't such a mug as to put up my children to all I know myself. Hard enough to hold them in without that. If you want Eliza mine improved, Governor, you do it yourself with a strap. So long, gentlemen.
Stop! You will come regularly to see your daughter. It's your duty, you know. My brother's a clergyman, and he could help you in your talks with her.
Certainly, I'll come, Governor. Not just this week, because I have a job at the distance, but later on you may depend on me. Afternoon, gentlemen.
Don't you believe the old liar. He'd as soon as you get a bulldog on him as a clergyman. You won't see him again in a hurry.
I don't want to, Eliza, do you?
Not me. I don't want never to see him again, I don't. He's a disgrace to me. He is collecting dust instead of working at his trade.
What is his trade, Eliza?
Taking money out of other people's pockets into his own. His proper trade's a navvy, and his works at it sometimes too, for exercise, and earns good money at it. Ain't you going to call me Miss Doolittle any more?
I beg your pardon, Miss Doolittle. It was a slip of the tongue.
Oh, I don't mind, only it sounded so genteel. I should just like to take a taxi to the corner of Tottenham Court Road and get out of here and tell it to wait for me, just to put the girls in place a bit. I wouldn't speak to them, you know.
Better wait till we get you something really fashionable.
Besides, you shouldn't cut your old friends out now that you've risen in the world. That's what we call snobbery.
You don't call the like of them my friends now, I should hope. They've took it out of me often enough with the ridicule when they had the chance, and now I mean to get a bit of my own back. But if I'm to have fashionable clothes, I'll wait. I should like to have some. Mrs. Pierce says you're going to give me some to wear in bed at night, different to what I wear in the daytime. But it do seem a waste of money, and when you could get something to show. Besides, I never could fancy changing into cold things on a winter night.
The delivery man has delivered new things for Eliza to try on.
Oh.
Pickering, we have taken on a stiff job.
Higgins, we have.
In self-absorption, Higgins has placed himself in a precarious position morally.
He doesn't see how his experiment will complicate the life of Eliza Doolittle and leave her a social outcast.
Professor Higgins must see the dangers he's creating before he ruins a life.
First, he must care about a human being besides himself.